Wow, you're actually admitting that. Ooh, oh crap. Disney is admitting something, but they're not worried, but they should be. Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy. And if you do enjoy the videos, definitely want to like, subscribe, share, all the things. Because YouTube just changed a bunch of stuff recently. Again, every time they reset something, it unsubscribes and unbells people, so Disney, however, they're now admitting that they rushed Star Wars. That's crazy. That is crazy. But you know what they do? A lot of the times they'll just be like, oopsie, yeah, we were aware of this, but it's okay because we have all of this, right? So this is just to save face with investors, I think, is why this whole article is in existence, I guess. Disney CEO Bob Iger knows the company released too many Star Wars movies too quickly, but isn't worried about the future of the franchise. Well, it was that, along with making bad movies, along with making, I don't know, just garbage. That's what it was. It was that, along with everything else, with bad characters, being disgraceful to existing characters. You know, shoving out the old, killing the past, letting it die if you have to, just to push in all of these new characters that OT fans aren't really into. Not only that, people like Screen Rant going out of their way to call us all toxic man babies and basement dwelling cousin humpers or whatever. That doesn't help Disney and Star Wars. You know, having movies so divisive that the fans, you know, are attacking each other for not liking. And I'm talking about the non-toxic ones going after a lot of us for not liking Last Jedi that much. And I'm probably like it more than a lot of the people who hate it, for sure. It's not a good movie. It's got some cute moments in it, and it's kind of, but for the most part, it's not good, and it ruined the franchise, I think. But there's a lot of stuff, a lot of factors in Star Wars that they couldn't anticipate, I think, but they probably should have. In hindsight, maybe they could have. When the Mouse House announced, they keep calling it Mouse House, the House of Mouse, I don't know, announced its plans to release a new Star Wars film every year following purchase of Lucasfilm in 2012, the news got a pretty mixed response. Yeah, that's too much. You know, we get them once in a great while, and it's an event. You know, it's like having Christmas every 2 months. You get tired of it. That's why it's once a year. But that's Christmas, you know? You need a little bit more time with something massive like that. Something really eventful. It's like you don't go to Disneyland every single year for your average person, I don't think. It's one of those. It's like once every few years, big expenses, big purchases. It's supposed to be a big deal. And they don't care. They're treating it like it's McDonald's. And that's why it's getting a lot of the response that it's getting. Because this is the McDonaldization of it. And that's part of releasing one every year. Is just kind of putting them on the assembly line. And cranking them out. Not putting any love and care into them. And yeah, they're really well made. They look nice. The actors do great. You know, they do their jobs as best as they can. The people who show up on set, the lighting, the editing, a lot of the secondary stuff. That stuff looks beautiful in so many of these movies. They look like Star Wars if you didn't know, you know, if you have the sound off. But then once you start hearing them talking, that's where it kind of goes wonky, right? As much as the audiences love The Galaxy Far, Far Away, the first two Star Wars trilogies released nearly 40 years. Were released over nearly 40 years. Yeah. Okay, now that makes sense. He's trying to say that, yeah, there's two trilogies that were released sporadically here and there. You know, we got the original, and then we got him back again, like, in late 90s. And then, like, a few years later. But then they were, like, a few years apart, at least. In fact, before 2015, the shortest amount of time between live-action movies was 3 years. At first, though, there didn't seem to be a problem. The Force Awakens brought the franchise roaring back to life. That's because we didn't have it in so long. That was because we hadn't had one in a decade, right? Like, every 5 years seems about right for Star Wars. Give us one, you're pushing it, every 5 years to get one, like, a big movie. And then if you want to have all the little shows to keep the really big hardcore consumer fans alive, you know, the ones who love the Clone Wars. And I know you guys love the Clone Wars. I get it. I love that you love the Clone Wars. I haven't seen it yet because, I don't know. I'm the movie fan, right? I'm an old person. I like the movies. For a lot of these, though, you want to have the lesser, and that's not even the right word. You want to have, like, the not as big production deals. You know, you want to have like your Clone Wars, like your Rebels, to really develop up some of these characters that are coming in, right? That's where you want to develop the new characters, the TV shows. Like Rey should have been a TV show. Then you could given her like a few years to develop a character instead of 2 hours, 3 hours. You would give her 30 hours to really, really get in there deep. And I think that might be one of the problems. Yeah, however, the debates over The Last Jedi were still raging by the time Solo: A Star Wars Story arrived less than 6 months after. Exactly. And that's a lot of how we kind of feel this, because like television, I know I'm gonna kind of go off on television a little bit, being the huge TV fan that I have been in the past. Most of my DVDs are complete series of TV series. A huge 60s TV fan, especially. TV seems like the step down from movies, right? It's always felt like, even like Netflix TV, streaming TV is a step down from movie. That the feature films, like, oh, now you're a movie star, now you've made it. So all this stuff is going to TV, like all the Marvel stuff going to TV. Like the movie stars are getting reduced to TV level. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. But that's kind of what you want to do to build and expand, and it's not like it's any less quality or any less special or any less important to the franchise, right? But you want to have your lesser stuff on the appropriate medium. You know, you want your less main event, you know, the less big deal on the streaming, and you want to have the big deal theater premiere where everybody's going to talk about it. And that's why there's only one Endgame, Infinity War. That's why they released them the way they did, right? And you had all the other movies that were leading up, but they were treating every movie towards the end like it was an event movie. Like Captain Marvel, they were treating like it was an event movie. Black Panther, they were treating like they were event movies. And they're kind of the lesser version. They're kind of like the TV filler versions of the Avengers movies. For kind of I guess an analogy there. Not that they're any less good or less important, but I mean, Captain Marvel isn't as good, clearly. But you get the gist. They're kind of more to elaborate and develop some of these side characters for the main events, right? That's not what they're doing in Star Wars, and that's one of the things that they really could do. And I think that's what he's trying to convey here, right? Coupled with expensive reshoots on a shortened campaign marketing, this resulted Solo in the first Star Wars film to actually lose money, even though the movie earned mostly positive reviews. Iger, for his part, feels it was ultimately a problem of too much too fast. You know, that was part of it too. You're expecting too many. Star Wars should not have a lot of side filler things. They shouldn't have a lot of like Ant-Mans. I mean, yeah, Star Wars shouldn't have a lot of like Ant-Man level movies. You shouldn't have a lot of little solo character movies. You don't want to treat Star Wars like Marvel. Every Star Wars movie is supposed to be like Endgame or Infinity War. Every Star Wars movie is supposed to be that big and impactful. And you're not giving us that with Rey and these characters. You're giving us like the TV series level characters that you're not developing up and you're not really giving anything to. And you're putting them in these big event movies. And that's the problem. And you're also trying to close out our other characters in big event movies from 2 other trilogies. That's one of the biggest problems that they're doing with Star Wars as well, in my opinion. And yeah, Solo is the first film that actually lost money as well. And at least they're admitting it lost money. Because remember last year, they're like, oh, no, Solo didn't lose money. No, Solo lost money, but it's a good thing. Do you remember all that from last year? And I wish I had time to pull it up. I really don't, but yeah, in an extensive interview with the New York Times, Iger admitted that when it comes to a Star Wars movie, I just think we might have put a little bit too much in that marketplace too fast. Well, and you're degrading the brand. You're McDonaldization of it. You're Disneyfying it. Because Disney, McDonald's, I don't see them as being very different entities. They crank out a lot of consumable level things for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with liking Disney and all that. There's nothing wrong with liking McDonald's. In fact, I'll probably eat there tonight. The point is, you gotta treat Star Wars a little better than... Star Wars isn't a Big Mac. Star Wars should be filet mignon. Right? And that's kind of the point here. And I think I'm getting a little hungry. It's about lunchtime. But yeah, and I did read through this New York Times article. It's mostly about the Chinese business marketplace. I highly recommend it. It's about like and I think that's why he's saying what he's saying, that because he doesn't want China, he wants to respectfully bow to China and say, yes, we messed up, because that's one of the things you want to do, I assume, and if you're trying to get a lot of money out of somebody and not come in like an arrogant, motherfucker. But he also wants to come across as confident, business 101, right? No, we have all of these things. We have streaming, we have everything else, and we just rushed the movies out, but we know what we did wrong. And no, he's just bluffing. He's just trying to save face to a bunch of Chinese investors, and that's what this whole article is from, right? And he says, I think the storytelling capabilities of the company are endless because of the talent we have at the company. And the talent we have at the company is better than it's ever been, in part because of the influx of people from Fox. Well, yes, but talent isn't really going to save you when you're lowering the quality of the brand, in my opinion. And of course, this goes on, and he's talking about Palpatine will return in the film. Yeah, we know that. That's another thing that they're going off on. Oh, no, they're keeping everything really tight, but, we had to leak Palpatine because, well, you couldn't keep him a secret. Yeah, we get it. The JJ Mystery Box. That's their other little big deal Star Wars article today. I didn't care enough to make a video about that. Why am I talking about it? Anyway, point is, they're kind of aware of what they're doing, but I think they still don't get what they really need to do. And, if they were smart, they would listen to Queen Mecha of the Fandom Menace, and they would share the video, subscribe, etc., and fix the crap out of Star Wars, because, come on, it's Star Wars, it's not a Big Mac. You can't be this disrespectful to this brand and expect people to keep throwing, a high, top dollar at the product, right? I am Mecha Random 42. I will see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!